Hey teachers, I'm going to show you guys how to make and grade a Google form. I need to make a form anyways, so I thought I'd show you how to do it. So you need to go to your Drive. Okay, so Google Drive. I have a bunch of folders and stuff, so I'm just going to make it in my Drive. But you should save it to a place where you can easily find it again. So I clicked New, and then I picked Google Form. When you do that, this will pop up, and you'll be able to give it a title. Let's just call it Quiz 1. You can put in a description or instructions for what to do on the form, or however you want it. You'll have a couple other ones up here that say require Adams 50 login to view this form, or only Adams 50 responses will be collected, or automatically collect Adams 50 username. And you can uncheck those or check those based on what you think is going to be necessary. Some kids won't be able to log in just because they forget their passwords and stuff, so I usually leave those unchecked. Then the next thing, so you can add a description if you want. Then you want to add a title or start adding some questions. So I like to do last name as the first one. Make it a text and require the question. If it's got a red star, it's required and students will have to do it. If I click this handy dandy duplicate button, it'll copy a question. Okay. Then I ask for the first name, also required, done. Now I want to add a checkboxes question. All right, I do want to make it required because I'm going to ask for their period number. Okay. And, oops, sorry, not checkboxes. I wanted to do choose from a list. Okay, and then I'm just going to click 1, the down button, 2, and it clears out that. Down, it makes a new one and clears it out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done. And when they open it, they'll just see 7 options. And obviously, you don't have to put your plan. An example question, let's do a multiple choice. So we'll do what is the age of the Earth? Oops. Okay, put in your options. Oops. Okay, then click done. And obviously you could put more, or you could put that this is question 1. Okay. One way that you can prevent cheating is if you go down to advanced settings, you can click shuffle option order. Then every student that opens this will get a different option order. So if they look at their friend's screen and their friend's picking the first one, that might not be the correct answer on theirs. So shuffling the option order helps you avoid that. And if you add other, they'll be able to write in an answer if you wish. And then you can get rid of that. Okay. You can also do checkboxes where they have to pick more than one. So what are Mr. Baines' Favorite sports. 1. Football, volleyball, martial arts, and rhythmic gymnastics. Okay, I can also choose shuffle option order for this one. And then with this one, you can make sure that they put in... Oh, I haven't really played with that one, so I don't know what that one does. I'll have to play with that one a little bit. There's other options. Okay, and the correct answer here would be volleyball and martial arts. Okay, I can add in text questions. If I change my mind, I can just change it to paragraph text and they'd see a big box. I can do a scale. So, how are you feeling? On a scale from 1 to 5, bad or good. Okay, and they get to pick one of those. I don't want that question, so I'll delete it. I already showed you choose from a list. You can put in grids or dates or times. Yep, and they all have different things that you can do with them. Couple important things. If you need to, if it's a long test, I recommend putting in page breaks. So you could call it page 2. And then you can add questions to this page. You can add images or videos or whatever you want. So if you want them to answer a question about a certain picture or data table, that's where you do that. You'd insert an image. You could put your video in here and they could do it. If you just want a long set of directions instead of a page break, you could add a section header. Okay, so directions. Okay, and type it all out. Blah, 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 blah. And I'd see this, and then the question below it. And it would just be all on one page. Okay, if it's a long test, do multiple pages, because I have heard that sometimes the Google Forms will time themselves out and students' answers will get deleted. So to avoid that, just add page breaks. All right. Then you're going to want to click View Form to see what your form looks like. Okay. So this is what the students would see. If I go back, there's also this Change Theme button. And if you like, you want to try a different theme. Maybe you want to try, what do they have? What's a good one? This one called Homework. All right. And then I view the live form. Now it'll look like this. So just kind of a different theme, just to make it a little bit unique and a little bit exciting for the students. Then this is what they would see, and that's what they fill out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Say I'm in period 4 because that's my plan. 4.6 billion. Notice how my answers were shuffled here. I didn't click shuffle order here, so they weren't shuffled. Okay, submit. And actually, I could call this my answer key if I wish, so instead I could put answer key. But I'm just going to, I know who I am, so I'll do that. That's my answer key. You do want to answer yours, your quiz one time. Okay, and then when students respond, okay, so let's input another one. Students respond, let's say John Smith in my period 1 class thinks it's 4.6 thousand and thinks my favorite sport is football. Let's do this one. Let's say he gets that one right. Pays attention a little bit. Okay. Now all the students will do that. You need to post this link, which is rather long, somewhere where they can find it. I always post it on my website. And there's different ways to do that. I could show you when I make my website video. But this is one way. You'll need to post this somewhere where the students can get it. There's a URL shortener website as well. I think it's goo.gul, I think. And yes, so you put in your long URL and it'll create a shorter URL for you that the students can use. So instead of typing this whole thing in, they only have to type something that's maybe 20 characters long, or maybe even 10 characters long, instead of this long, looks like 50 or 60 characters. Okay, so that's another tool, goo.gul. Now, when you're ready to grade it, you're going to view your responses, which is going to open up a spreadsheet in your Google Drive, and you should be able to find it in your Drive. Okay, so this is the form that I can edit. This is the spreadsheet, so I can open this up at any time. Okay. You're going to need to get an add-on. The add-on that you'll need to grade it is called Flubaroo. Flubaroo, spelled like that, F-L-U-B-A-R-O-O. Yep. It's free. It's going to ask you for permission. Just give it permission. It's not going to do anything terrible. Accept it. Okay, now you have that add-on installed. Okay, so when you're ready to grade, click Add-on, Flubaroo, Grade Assignment. All right, it's pretty smart. It can figure out what you'd like. It's able to figure out that you want to identify these. This was my first question. This was my second question. Sometimes it will add in some questions that you ended up deleting. So if that is the case, the thing I like to do is make a copy of my form, and when I do that and pick a new response location, it will get rid of all of the questions that I didn't put in there, and it'll put all the questions in the correct order. So if you ever see this and you're confused, you're like, I took this question out, make a copy of your form, and then try this again, and then it'll work, or it'll get rid of all those extra questions that weren't in there. So I'm going to skip grading. Okay, and I can make them worth any amount of points from 1 to 5. Then I click Continue. All right. Next, it's asking me for which is the answer key. If you wait to do your answer key until after the students have taken it, you'll have to scroll down through a bunch of responses. So make sure you do your answer key before the students take it. Click on your answer key. Sorry. Click Continue. It's going to take just a second to organize the spreadsheet correctly. It's grading my assignment, and then I view my grades. Okay, and it'll give me the total points. It'll give me first name, last name, when they submitted it, percentage of their scores, how many times did they submit it. So if a student submits or they hit the submit button like 3 times, it will kind of compile all of those into one so that you don't have multiple entries from the same student, which is very handy. And then this is another handy tool. It turns orange, it turns the question orange if more than 60% of your students got that question incorrect. So more than 60% of these students got this question incorrect, so it highlighted it orange. Okay, and then the ones above 60% are not highlighted. Okay, and it'll give you the list of all the questions and even include their non-graded responses too. And if you're worried that you lost what they said, it's still right here. Okay, so if they ended up typing something because you had a text question, it would still be posted right here and you could grade that right online. Okay, it's still on this, it's just on a different sheet. Okay, that's how to use Google Forms. It's pretty easy. Google's made it very easy. If you have any other questions, let me know. Mrs. Kowalik, Mr. Kowalik, Dr. Rosh, all know how to use these. Dr. Rosh has probably used it more than me. And the walkthrough device, or the walkthrough thing that they use Google Forms. So this is how they collect our responses. So yes, please, any questions you have, send them my way, and I'll try and answer them. All right. See you next time.